They tried to conquer Earth, but unearthed humanity's oldest war machines. The Zephyrian fleet descended through Earth's atmosphere like falling stars, their crystalline hulls gleaming against the morning sky. Admiral Kexithera observed the primitive, blue world through the viewport of her flagship, mandibles clicking in satisfaction. Intelligence reports had been clear. The inhabitants possessed only rudimentary space travel and fragmented governments. This would be the easiest conquest in Zephyrian history. Begin orbital bombardment of major population centers, she commanded, her translator converting the clicking sounds into standard galactic. Target their primitive communication networks first. The first wave of energy beams lanced down from orbit, striking military installations across the globe. Satellites winked out of existence and communication grids went dark. The humans' pathetic attempts at resistance, their crude missiles and fighter jets, were swatted aside like insects. But as the bombardment intensified, something unexpected happened. Deep beneath the Sahara Desert, ancient machinery stirred to life. Sensors that had lain dormant for millennia detected the alien energy signatures. In hidden vaults scattered across the planet, emergency protocols activated, protocols written in languages that predated human civilization by eons. Dr. Sarah Chen was in her laboratory at MIT when the attacks began. As alarms blared and emergency broadcasts filled the airwaves, she noticed something peculiar on her seismic monitoring equipment. Massive underground structures were powering up worldwide, creating energy signatures unlike anything in human technology. "That's impossible," she whispered, staring at the readings. The largest signature was emanating from beneath Antarctica, where no human installation existed. Thousands of miles away, Admiral Kexithera was receiving troubling reports from her tactical officers. "Ma'am, we're detecting massive energy buildups across the planet's surface," reported Commander Vexka. "The signatures don't match human technology." Before Kexithera could respond, the Antarctic ice sheet cracked open like an eggshell. From the depths rose a structure that defied comprehension, a black pyramid the size of a mountain, its surface covered in symbols that hurt to look at directly. Similar structures emerged worldwide, from the Pacific Ocean, the Amazon rainforest, the Himalayan peaks, and dozens of other locations. "What in the void is that?" Kexithera breathed. The answer came in the form of a transmission that bypassed all known communication methods, speaking directly into the minds of every Zephyrian aboard the fleet. "Threat detected. Defense protocol. Omega activated. Stand down or be eliminated." The voice was not human. It was something far older, far more terrifying. Dr. Chen watched in awe as the structures began to transform. The pyramid beneath Antarctica unfolded like origami, revealing weapons platforms that dwarfed the alien ships above. Energy cannons emerged from hidden bays, their targeting systems locking onto the Zephyrian fleet with mechanical precision. "This is impossible," she repeated. But the evidence was undeniable. Humanity had guardians, ancient, powerful beings that had been silently watching over Earth for millennia. The Zephyrian fleet opened fire on the emerging structures, their most powerful weapons blazing. The energy beams struck the ancient pyramids and simply stopped. Force fields of impossible complexity absorbed every shot, converting the energy into power for the defensive systems. Then the Guardians returned fire. Beams of coherent matter, not energy, but actual reconstructed atoms lashed out from the pyramids. Where they struck Zephyrian ships, the vessels didn't explode or burn. They simply ceased to exist. Their matter reorganized at the quantum level into harmless particles. Half the invasion fleet vanished in the first salvo. "Retreat. All ships." "Retreat!" Kexithera screamed, but it was too late. The Guardians' weapons tracked with impossible accuracy, eliminating ship after ship as they tried to flee Earth's gravity well. As the battle raged above, Dr. Chen received a message on her computer, a message that shouldn't have been possible considering all communications were down. The text appeared in perfect English. "Dr. Chen, your species has reached the threshold. You are no longer children." The Guardians have protected this world since your ancestors first looked to the stars. Now you must learn to protect yourselves. The technology will be shared. Use it wisely. Around the world, similar messages appeared on the screens of scientists, engineers, and leaders. The ancient Guardians were not just protectors, they were teachers, waiting for humanity to mature enough to inherit their knowledge. Within hours, the Zephyrian invasion was over. Their surviving ships limped away into deep space, carrying with them a terrifying message to the galactic community. Earth was not undefended. It was protected by beings whose technology was so advanced, it seemed like magic. Admiral Kexathera sat in her damaged flagship reviewing the battle recordings with growing horror. The weapons used against her fleet weren't just advanced. They operated on principles of physics that Zephyrian science couldn't even comprehend. Matter manipulation, consciousness-based targeting, energy conversion beyond theoretical limits. "Ma'am," her science officer reported with trembling antennae, "we've analyzed the Guardian structures. They're not built with any known materials. The construction methods, they appear to violate several fundamental laws of physics." Kexathera clicked her mandibles nervously. "How old are they?" "Based on quantum decay patterns, at least 50 million years, possibly older." The implications were staggering. While the galaxy's youngest species had been learning to use fire, ancient Guardians had been building weapons that could reshape reality itself. And now those Guardians were sharing their knowledge with humans. Back on Earth, Dr. Chen stood before one of the Guardian structures, now dormant but still radiating an aura of incredible power. In her hands was a data crystal containing technological specifications that would advance human civilization by millennia overnight, faster than light travel, fusion reactors the size of briefcases, medical technology that could cure any disease, weapons that could crack planets. The responsibility was overwhelming, but as she looked up at the stars, stars that no longer seemed so distant, she smiled. Humanity had passed the test. They were no longer alone in the universe, but they were no longer helpless either. The Guardians had ensured that when humanity finally took its place among the stars, it would do so not as conquered subjects, but as inheritors of the galaxy's oldest and most powerful legacy. The Zephyrians had tried to conquer Earth, but instead, they had awakened something far more dangerous than any human army. They had awakened humanity's destiny.